Welcome back, everyone. It's Nerdstrodamus. I'm Dr. Pence.
I'm Lambo.
And we're still in Switch Week.
Woo!
I love Switch Week.
It's going to be a good time.
It is going to be a good time. Now, with the Switch coming out and with Nintendo's history, there's been a lot of talk about third-party support with Nintendo. Yeah. It just was not there with the Wii U.
And it started to drop off in the 64 era. They stayed on cartridges. Everyone else went to different media.
The GameCube, some of it came back.
Yep, and the Wii, a lot of it came back. But we didn't get all the big games because the Wii just wasn't a powerful system.
And then the Wii U, similarly, it got a lot of third-party games in the beginning, but it just dropped off then.
Yeah. Now, the exciting thing about the Switch is that there's a lot of third-party support. So we're actually going to run down our favorite third-party Nintendo franchises.
These are franchises that have been on Nintendo systems exclusively, except for one kind of, but we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I mean,
yeah.
Let's get to it.
Our number 5, Professor Layton. Now, Professor Layton, most people would argue, is a Nintendo franchise. It probably is, but it's developed by Level 5, which is
also known for making like Ni no Kuni. I've heard a lot of people play that. And
Jeanne d'Arc on the PSP, which no one played except me.
Yeah,
but I mean, Level 5 is not owned by Nintendo.
No.
And the Professor Layton games have seen light of day other places, like it's on iOS. You can get some of those things there. So the Professor Layton series, though, has only shown up on Nintendo systems. And it's a really great puzzle series. In fact, a lot of people really got into it. Loved kind of the little bite-sized puzzles in it with the really cool stories.
I mean, we've mentioned our love of the Zero's Escape series before, and if you love those games and love the puzzles, while this is not quite the same sort of thing, there is a similar kind of sense of puzzle solving and story kind of being woven together.
It's a much lighter story.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Except for the
almost all of them
one.
get pretty dark.
Yeah, they get dark, but the sixth one in particular got really dark.
Yeah.
But anyway, Professor Layton. Professor Layton. Number 4. Oh, I love this one so much.
Yeah.
Golden Sun.
Oh yeah.
Golden Sun, developed by Camelot, published by Nintendo. So not a Nintendo-owned company again, even though Camelot has done a lot of other things on Nintendo. But the Golden Sun series is actually a spiritual successor to a PlayStation game, Beyond the Beyond. So the Golden Sun series saw the light of day on the Game Boy Advance with the first 2 entries, Golden Sun and The Lost Age, and then got a DS sequel, Dark Dawn. We haven't seen one since, but
they have been re-released on the Wii U Virtual Console.
They have been,
and yeah, it's kind of exciting.
Re-released. But there hasn't been another one since now. There has been talk from Camelot that maybe there will be an announcement soon, I'm hoping. Because I love them. They're JRPGs in the classic sense, with some really cool graphics, amazing music, and some beautiful visuals.
And how awesome would it be to get a Switch game? Oh my goodness.
Oh, God.
Yeah. The Switch opens all the doors for a lot of really great handheld series to maybe come to console. So
yeah, I please make another Golden Sun, please. If you've never played it, if you own a Wii U, go check it out. If you have a Game Boy Advance, go find a copy. Just play it.
That'd be fantastic.
It's so much fun. I know Mr. Snarls, who makes our memes, would agree.
Indeed.
Number 3, Mega Man Zero.
Yeah, and you're gonna go like, well, what about all the other Mega Mans? And honestly,
you can't call them Nintendo franchises because
it's strictly Nintendo franchises. They all started on Nintendo. We have the Mega Man X series, the Mega Man series.
Mega Man 1 through 6 were on Nintendo. They got re-released on PlayStation later.
Yeah.
Mega Man X 1 through 3 were on Super Nintendo, got re-released on the PlayStation.
Yeah, and continued the series on the PlayStation as well.
Right. Now, ZX was also Nintendo exclusive on the DS, but
Zero's better.
Zero is better. Zero kind of takes what was great about the X series and makes it faster.
And more intense, and a lot more item collection, and that kind of stuff.
Takes some of the armor, it takes the armor collecting away. You're not looking for armor pieces anymore. It also takes away the concept of absorbing the boss's power and taking it in. You did get elemental chips, which the bosses were weak to, but it was no more collecting different weapons and developing strategies there. It was all shooting, slashing. Also, amazing music, and the ending to the first game is one of the coolest things in gaming.
Yeah, that's the only one I ever completely finished, of course.
They're all good, but...
Yeah, and I've made it most of the way through 2, but it's hard.
They're really
ridiculously hard. So, yeah.
It's Nintendo hard.
Yeah. Crazy awesome difficulty level there. Go for it.
Our number 2, Turok.
Dinosaur Hunter.
Now this one's a little weird, and this whole list is a little weird because it's hard to distinguish what we're talking about here, but Turok was a series of games, for those who may not know it, first-person shooters. You play, originally it was Native American descended character who traveled to another dimension where it was half wilderness filled with dinosaurs and hyper technology.
Super technology stuff.
You got ridiculous weapons, things like, I mean, you got pistols and shotguns, but then you got like the cerebral bore, which we've talked about before.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. The Devastator. Was it called the Devastator? I don't know.
I don't remember what all the
some crazy weapons. Tech arrows.
The alien rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Razor Wind from 2, which was that big saw blade you threw.
The cool thing that made at least the Nintendo 64 games different, because they were different as a group than the later ones, like Turok Evolution and the kind of reboot Turok that came out, that they were sandbox games. And that they were primarily the sort of thing where you were looking for certain items
to proceed to the next level.
Yeah, and it was like immense amount of puzzle solving, immense amount of like just looking around, because like the games were just ridiculously convoluted and
the first game is so difficult because there's this fog on everything because they didn't want the pop-in to happen.
The draw distance was so bad at the time.
Yeah.
But the games pretty much still hold up. I'm sure you can,
I boot up
emulators and fix the that kind of thing.
Turok 2, I love Turok 2, and we can't ignore possibly one of my most played games on the N64, Rage Wars! Turok Rage Wars was just an arena shooter with different challenges for different characters.
Yeah.
It was 4-player multiplayer.
It's kind of like Quake 3 Arena or something, or an Unreal Tournament.
Yeah, but it had the inflator and the emaciator.
Oh, goodness.
Which did exactly what it sounds like they do.
Oh, I forgot about that. Pretty ridiculous.
I love that game. But Turok, another franchise that was on Nintendo for a long time. Bring it back. Number one is actually the only one that's still going regularly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And that is Xenoblade.
Oh, of course.
So, Xenoblade Chronicles was a Wii game. It wasn't going to come over to the States. Project Rainfall made it happen. We got a pseudo-sequel spin-off title in Xenoblade Chronicles X.
We didn't realize it was until they announced.
Until they announced for the Switch. Xenoblade 2, which is coming out this year, so... Xenoblade, big JRPG with this cool combat system. It plays kind of like an MMO. Big sprawling areas, a little sandboxy at times, a lot of cool side quests to do, giant monsters to kill, this epic level of scale. And it's developed by Monolith Soft, who is a company who actually spun out of a team from Squaresoft.
Nice.
Because they were... you originally had Xenogears on the PlayStation 1, which Xenogears didn't go anywhere from there. Nope. They made Xenosaga on the PlayStation 2, and then they disappeared for a while, and they came back on Nintendo for the exclusive series of Xenoblade.
And the games have been, honestly, we've gushed about them before, but if you like JRPGs, they are the place to be right now. They are exciting, they're sprawling, the worlds are humongous. It's
worth trying. The combat takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's rewarding, and... Xenoblade Chronicles X is just so good.
Yeah. It's the only active battle system that's felt like an old turn-based system. I think it's got the best of both.
It feels to me like playing an MMO, but better.
Yeah, you can put it like that. That's wonderful.
Yeah, but those are our top 5 third-party Nintendo franchises.
Yeah, there's a lot. We know we're leaving out. We know we're leaving out things like Pokemon. We know we're leaving out the original Final Fantasy games. We know there's a lot of things that kind of sit around. But when we were thinking about this, we were like, what kind of cool, little kind of niche games, are basically primarily Nintendo based that have been awesome.
Right.
That's kind of our idea.
Plus, this is a hard topic to discuss.
Yeah. There's so many to look at. We did our best. Hate it. It's okay. No.
But what are some games on the Nintendo consoles that were made by third parties that you loved? What franchises do you want to see come back? I mean, I'm all about Golden Sun.
Oh, yeah.
And F-Zero, but that's Nintendo only. But tell us in the comments below. But for right now, this is Nerdstrodamus. I'm Dr. Pants.
I'm Lambo.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you liked what you see, click subscribe. Also, check the links below for our Twitter, our blog, and our Facebook page. Check back often. We'll be posting new videos weekly.